Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So, for today's reading, as I was picking out the deck of the cards, I heard the song, I don't know who sings it, I believe it's from like the 70s, but it's only one part they keep singing over and over again. And it's like, in the summertime, and that's all they keep saying. So I did try to find out who that was, and in that it took me on rabbit hole of other songs, right? One of them also is from the 70s, but it's Mungo Jerry, In the Summertime, which I just don't like that song. And the reason why I don't like that song, because this is going to play into the reading, is the line in it where it says, if her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, do what you will. And so, I don't know, hearing that, I'm like, if you judge someone based off of their money status, then you're a pretty crummy person. No offense, but you never know what somebody's story's gonna be. Rags to riches. What happens in the middle is what's important, right? There's this term out, I never heard it, but I guess it's probably old, like the Nepo babies, right? Nepotism and things like that. And I only just heard that like a couple months ago, and I was like, what's that? But it just seems like, people get treated better because of the money status that their family had before them. And so I let that go. But every other one, because I just kind of looked for like lyric search, and all these songs came up, and each song in it was talking about, right? One of them was called Summertime. It was like Booker, oh, I forget the name, but it had Janis Joplin. And then I looked at the lyrics, and it's like, her mom's rich, her dad's rich. And I was like, what? There's that line again about your family being wealthy. And so I still never found the song, In the Summertime. So if you guys know what song that is, can you let me know, so maybe I can look into it, because they just keep playing it over and over and over again. And when I looked at my closet, there was a sun on here. So that's why we chose these ones. And these are the Unshakable Inner Peace cards. Then they drew me to my spiritual reading cards. And so these ones are special to me because they're my grandma's. And so when she passed away, it's what I took to remember her. I took a lot of her books, and then I took her cards. And then, because they keep singing the sun, we're going to use the golden tarot, because they're just so shiny. But I still want to talk a bit. Yeah, so everything that kind of brought me to, I'm seeing someone getting passed up for an opportunity or overlooked because of your family status or situation. And I don't want to say too much, because we'll see what the reading gets into. But yeah, so for those of you who feel like, you've had a harder life because of the way you grew up, don't take it personally. That's a them problem. Because look down the road. Are they happy? I'm going to guess they're not, because this message is coming up for an encouragement of someone who was less ideal than being rich. What you're rich in is spirit and soul and, diversity and survival. All these things taught you how to adapt and thrive. So, it's always those stories of those who came from nothing and made something of themselves. And if you don't feel like you've made something of yourself, if you feel like that's kind of your story, well, there's still time. And so it made me sad to keep reading all these lyrics about the rich parents, because I think everyone should feel special. And no matter what money you have, maybe, yeah, you can't go out and do all the luxurious trips like you wish, but you really don't need much to be happy. I'm the most frugal person in the world. I am. And I have everything I need and more. And so as I was about to turn on the camera, Spirit came in really loud, and all I heard was read a book. And they said it like, read a book, like in a way that was like, somebody is lacking knowledge. I feel like this is someone who, you know, the rich person who overlooked someone thinking, oh, don't waste your time on them, they're trash. That person needs to go educate themselves, because I love a good ugly duckling story. I got one already. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was so weird that every song, I never found the song I was hearing, but I every lyric I looked, it was all about money and parents. Okay, they're saying 2 more. So if you'd like for those to come out, it's that one. Oh, and that one. 3 of these and 1 of those. Okay. In the summertime. 2 and 3. Okay, they said only 1, but a whole bunch came out, so now I just have to feel. 1 group, they say. Oh, that's a lot of cards, guys. Okay. Okay, we got a group, we got a this, we got a that. And these, no reversals again, because this deck is not set up for that. Okay, so first card that came out is gratitude is the life force of peace. What are you thankful for? They're showing me that you can be great. If you have nothing, there's always something to be grateful of. It's those who overlook the simplest basic needs. Right? You go outside and the sun is shining. Like that's something to be grateful for. You woke up today, but they're not telling me it's to be thankful of those things. It's the things you have. They're saying this is material. We're talking materialistic today. All right, we're being a little bit materialistic. Be happy for the things that you do have. They're showing me a really worn out old pair of shoes that have been worn to the brink. They're saying, remember all the miles you walked in them. That's beautiful. I mean, there's some challenges, there's some bumps in the road, but most of the time, right, until recently, they kept you protected and they were good enough. Which is weird. They just even showed me, and I forgot all about this, but when I was younger, they used to always make fun of my shoes. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, just remembered something about shoes. And so yeah, they're saying you walked in your shoes. Maybe you were nervous. Maybe you didn't think that you had all the resources because you didn't have the money. But by putting 1 foot, get away from the plants. Get away. By putting 1 foot in front of the other, it was that blind belief of knowing that you're always going to be guided to where you're meant to be. It says here, You are the truth seeker, awakening, actualizing, and transcending. How can you invite more grace to guide you? So yeah, maybe you did start here, and there is so much to be thankful for. This is your poor journey, but there's still a lot of things. They're telling me for some people to be mindful, because when you, I'm seeing this is a journey of someone having from lack to abundance, and they're saying, you know, when you have that lack, when you finally get the abundance, people tend to hold on, right? They don't want to lose it, but they're like, remember where you came from and how you survived and you managed. Yes, you did have tough times. Yes, you did have to go without sometimes, but knowing the journey and the steps that got you there, and knowing that you're safe now, that you don't have to worry about losing everything. Because I find that those who never had anything and built something, they're more appreciative of that. They're more responsible. They're not just going to go out and take things for granted, right? Like someone who just gets a house given to them. Yeah, they got a house, but, you know, they're like, well, I don't want it anymore. I want this. I want that. Like, it's just like, money comes, money goes attitude. But if you saved up for that money and you know how many hours you put on the grindstone, how many less ideal jobs, but then you finally got the house and that down payment, that is a victory. That lesson, it says you're the truth seeker. That lesson will always be more valuable than somebody who had just had everything given to them. I keep seeing someone who had a life just given to them and taking, not being grateful. They're they just expect it. Like, you're meant to serve me because, I don't know, maybe my ancestors made a good decision. But does that mean that I made the good decision? Does that mean that I also am part of that abundance mindset? In this case, I see someone who is not. And it's actually like, you know, the family kind of worked this way. And now that we got this nepotism attitude, it's a decline now. Spirit says that's the cycle. That's the way things are supposed to go. If you do the work, you grow. But there is so much in this world that, what are they trying to say? They just keep seeing that there's just so much entitlement in this world. And people just aren't thankful for what they want. They go out and they go to a restaurant, and rather than being like so thankful for the server bringing it them, they pull a Karen type attitude, you know? And to be honest, everyone whose name is actually Karen, nicest people. Sorry, Karen. I think you're the best. And maybe that's why I don't call you Karen. So funny. What is this girl? And we both keep calling each other the wrong name, but we keep calling each other the same name. So, yeah. So now, next card says, your purpose is personal expansion. Your purpose is personal expansion. How can you be more intellectual with your choices and live more purpose? Those who went through the struggle, those who were poor, those who actually were in the trenches and know what life is like, for those who were here to help uplift, they actually know the problems. So it's almost like, you know, you go to like, I don't know, I just keep seeing groups, like a PTA type thing, government type thing, whatever groups or circles get together. The people on the board they keep showing me, it's like those who just kind of never had to actually they could look and be like, oh, look at the poor starving children, but they don't actually know the real problems and the situation. So they throw money at it, or they think, we can smooth this over so that we feel better about ourselves because now we don't see it. But those who grew up in the trenches know the root. They know the ins and outs, and this happens because this happens, and now this is actually a branch off of these two things, and if I go over here, this is actually the cause, right? And so let me read again. How can you be more intentional with your choices and live more with purpose? So now, as you are raising your vibration to a higher mindset, and that's also what it is. It's you're attracted to the energy kind of vibration that you are. No, not true. They're showing me two scenarios. Earth angels are guided to go to places that are less ideal. Earth angels usually grow up in families that there's so much karma and things to fix. And then they are drawn to work or go to these places where everyone is low vibing, and they're there to be that light to help raise the consciousness up. But then there's also those who are attracted to the same energy because they have that mindset. It doesn't matter where you go. You can be rich, but if you have that mindset and you're low vibing energy, you're going to end up there. Maybe you have, I don't know. They're showing me so many things that it's almost like there's so many layers and depths and everything to it. That's when I heard again, read a book, because there is so much to learn. There is. But you went through it. You either were vibing at the same, and then you realize that this isn't okay, and I've got to get myself out of this, out of that crab in the bucket mentality, because that is true. When you're hanging out with low vibing people who have like poverty type mindset, they kind of really do have a lot of problems, and that's usually what they can only focus on. But crabs in a bucket will pull you. They don't need to put a lid on it because they know that those will see you starting to ascend or raise up out of the poverty mindset, and they'll pull you down because, like, what do you mean? Like, you're my person, you're my venting bag, you need to stay here with me. And we feel good because we gossip and we complain and we do all this. So once you get yourself out of it, you'll be able to lead by example, obviously, but now you actually know the ins and the outs and what needs to be tweaked. And now that you have this mindset, now you have this knowledge, now you know it's not actually that bad down there, so you're not quite as judgmental, that you are the one that actually can go help that group. Somebody who has no knowledge on that can look, but really they just want to stop feeling uncomfortable in themselves. It's a very selfish motive. I mean, yes, there are those who they see it, their empathy, and then they go in and they learn. That's where they say, read a book, go learn about the other cultures. Why is they keep showing me a community, and there's health problems in this community, and it's coming from the water. But they show that there's so much more that goes back to that. How did that even become allowed? How did it get to that point? And you who grew up in it, you who, was poo-pooed on a bit by other people because, you just didn't grow up rich. And that's what I keep hearing from someone is you got overlooked by others because you just weren't rich. And I'm so sorry to hear that ever happened to you, because money is just an energetic frequency. The character of your soul and the knowledge and the empathy and your heart are so much more than the dollars in your bank. And I wish we didn't quite live in a place like that, but money does influence people. I'm seeing even like love and relationships. People not get, that's what that whole song was about. Yeah, your parents are rich. Okay, fine. I'll treat you like a lady. Oh, your daddy's nobody. He's a poor working man. Okay, then you're nothing. I can do whatever I want. I can treat you like crap. And that whoever has that mindset, I would hate to see the future for them. Because that's sad to think of people in that way. But I am picking up on someone just feeling actually really sad that they lost out on this opportunity. Overlooked, but trust me, you wouldn't have been happy. You would have had to fight for everything because they didn't see you as equal. And so now you go out, you focus on your heart, you know, you separate yourself from the toxic, the low energy, right? Someone didn't see you as equal, as a partnership, but now you're whole. You don't actually, right? You're 100%, not just 50%. And that's the one thing. Everyone has to fill up their cup first and then fill up their cup. Two people who have full cups, that's when you can get in a partnership. But what I see you were trying to get in before, it was a half cup. This person is just, they looked at you as less than ideal. So let's move on to the next bundle. It says, most of us don't have hours and hours to meditate. Just surround everything and everyone with white light and give it, oh, come on, mouth. As I'm reading, I'm hearing messages and it gets lost. Most of us don't have hours and hours to meditate. Just surround everyone with white light and give the day to God. What is showing me the most is the waves or the energy coming off of the hands. Oh, this part of the message is for someone. Okay, so this one was for someone who got denied and not kind of picked in less than ideal kind of thing. But in these cards, this is somebody saw you less than ideal, less than equal, I mean, and you married them. So, let's see. Okay, so it says here, most of us don't have hours and hours to meditate. Just surround everyone with white light and give it to God. And so this is someone who's just been like giving, and that's the energy. They're giving and they're giving and they're giving and they're praying and they're praying. And it's just like whatever they do just isn't enough. They never feel enough. And my heart, you are enough. Oh, I'm so sorry that someone treated you that way and that you thought that you deserved to be that way. I don't know your situation, but somehow all of this reading has to do with money. But this is sad. But the next card is hopeful. It says, even if dark-souled entities are in your own family, know that you can divorce yourself from them. So I do see someone did link up with someone who thinks like that Mungo Jerry song. And you know, this is you releasing it. You are allowed, right? You are full. You aren't a half. You are 100%. And what you come with knowledge. You come with heart. You come with lessons that you've embraced and learned. You grew up in the trenches. You know the real problem. When you go out into the world and you shine your light and you do whatever it is you feel called to do, you're going to help so many people with the poverty mindset. Next card is, what you worry about now will resolve itself if you're patient and let your chart unfold. Ooh. I talked to someone once, and I had a really good conversation because, like I say, I don't really follow the charts and all that stuff. Like, I checked out my own. I'm like, oh, cool. But I was like, because the chart threw me off. I'm like, why are we talking about charts? I don't know much about that. I know enough, but it's a whole career. If you want to go down that, that's all you can focus on. And I was like, I need to focus on other things. But anyways, getting distracted. Somebody told me that they were in a relationship. And in this relationship, they tried everything. They did the counseling. They just were in it for so long. And they gave and gave and gave and tried and tried and tried. But it just didn't work in the end. So then she went and actually had her chart read. And she said, in the chart, it said, no matter what you did or who you married, it was part of your purpose to divorce. That the lesson in the divorce was freeing themselves. And now she's on this really cool adventure and journey. And, she only shared snippets of it. And I was just like, I didn't want the day to end, but I'm such a early bird. I had to go to bed. And I was like, so I know they watch my channel, and I really want to meet up again and share stories. And I'm sorry I haven't been the best at texting back. But I think of you often. And you came out in my reading, and your story, you're gonna... And guys, this isn't reading for her. It's just her experience. I got to share it to help you. And so there is someone who is tied to someone. And as this one said, even if dark-souled entities are in your family, know that you can divorce yourself from them. So I see that as relationships. It could even be family members. Whatever it is that you find, right? It could be like a competition between siblings or something. Or, I see actually in one scenario, a mom always favoring another one over other people because of the career they chose. And that's just never all right. I mean, you can always be excited about something, like if you have that bond with that person and you can connect on it, but to actually, what I see is treating the other poorly, always trying to make that person feel bad about themselves, never being the equal, or that's the problem. There's one card that I never read, I just caught. It says the collective field is impacting you. Unseen forces in action. How can you relinquish control of the situation that feels blocked? Ooh. I'll read it one more time. The collective field is impacting you. Unseen forces in action. How can you relinquish the control of a situation that feels blocked? So in this, it's all about... They're showing me two things. They always show me two things. They always show me multiple. That's it. There's so many to everything. But this whole reading is about money and financial blocks, like how you grew up. So maybe you thought, oh, I don't deserve this or that. And so it's really working on that poverty mindset. And what is the block? What happened to you when you put that block there? And it could be something as simple as, you were a kid and you asked your mom for, oh, can we buy this? And they're like, no, we got no money. And so that could have changed everything from going forward. What was your moment when you put that block there, felt less than? And that's the second thing they showed me, is it is a money block, poverty conscious mindset. And then the other one is all about self-worth and worthiness and going within. So if you want to remove this block, it is inside you. It's an event or a pattern or something that happened. Somebody talked to me this way. This event happened, and I went out and I didn't have the money, and I was homeless for a day, and I was so scared to ever be homeless again. I know in a lot of my readings before, goosebumps coming in, they said, the earth will provide, everything has, the earth has your back, right? Everything that you need for safety, survival. Sometimes you do have to go through less than ideal situations, but you're still here and you're now in the season of thriving. Remember that, because I do see that, we'll take the homelessness as an example. That was your motivation, right? You had to go to the food bank and ask for money and you were so embarrassed. You never wanted to have that happen again. That was your motivation. But in one sense, does it also hinder you, right? Because you're meant to free all these attachments, all these bonds, these things, and you're going to go back and help solve the problems in the correct places that they actually are. They just keep saying you actually know what's going on, and not many people do. Why? Because you've played both sides. There's two stories going on right now. There's someone who is missed or denied or never given a chance, and then there's that someone who is taken advantage of because they know, oh, well, I could do whatever I want to this person. And this person, they were overlooked, they grew up poor, but they built something of themselves. They're like a self-made whatever. And now you are this consciousness. You have both consciousness. And so now you help people raise up. On this hand, there's someone who grew up in a lesser family. That's not true. I hate saying that because your family was perfect for you to grow and learn of these things. But I do see there is people who latched on and took advantage. And so for you, if you haven't freed yourself yet, you still are going to get to this place. But I keep seeing more of this is only up to here. It's still more. So if you are scared of letting go, because whatever it is, it's dark. And if somebody looks at you like you're less than, that they get to control and manipulate, and if you are, you have this heart and this joy and you want to go out and you want to share it, but instead of that, you stay home in your sadness, that's really splitting you. So you do need to free yourself of that. There is, and this one, they're saying, read again. Most of us don't have hours and hours to meditate. Just surround everyone with white light and give the day to God. And that's the most powerful thing that I learned, is with all these problems and these struggles. I had a situation last summer and I was just like, I'm just not going to deal with this. I'm so sick of this energy. And I gave it. And the universe plays things out. And by me not engaging in that or needing to fight or battle, or, when I heard hours and hours to meditate, again, I see two things. I see someone sitting and trying to let go of this chaotic feeling inside of them, because this is how they normally feel. But for some reason, whenever they're around these people, it feels like this. It's like tightness and lightning in their heart. You could do that, but then at the end of the day, you're going back to the same situation. You can't heal in the environment that made you sick. And then, what were we just talking about? That was one situation. And on the other hand, so the meditate was literal in that. And then it said, most of us don't have hours and hours to meditate. I hear premeditate. This is you planning. You're planning your escape. If I save up and I do this and I do this, and it's almost like, your goal was 6 months ago and it's already now. And it's just like, you're still kind of at the same place that you were. And the best example I can give is smokers. When you quit smoking, because you spend so much, I don't even know what smokes are, but I used to smoke a pack a day. And, you think you're always putting that $15 to a pack of smokes. And then you're like, when you quit smoking 15 times 7 days a week times how much, you're going to have so much money, right? Because now you're not spending it. Now you should have this savings. But then when you quit, your money stays the same. It didn't dip, it didn't increase, because that's kind of your energetic mindset. And so that's where you stay. So they're saying someone is just, they keep saying you can't heal in the environment that makes you sick. If you're hanging out with these dark, low vibing people who bring you here, crabs in a bucket, that is not going to help. Now my stomach's starting to hurt. Why? I'm nervous. Oh. Let's get a clarifier. And I feel very scared. I feel nervous. I feel very scared, and I feel like crying right now. I know this is not my energy. I'm picking up on someone. But I feel more hope. I feel the hope in there too. I feel your hope, and focus on that, because that is going to be brighter than the fear. And I now feel a bit of the sadness is knowing that you have to let go. It's that, yeah. And now I just feel like almost actually letting go for you is exhausting. After you do it, it's going to take so much of your energy to leave a situation, but you know that they don't see you as a full person. And that makes me so sad to say. I'm very annoyed by this whole reading. But it needs to be said, because it doesn't even matter what happens to them after. Let them, like it's saying, just give the day, give everything to your guides, to source. Yeah, I actually feel like for some people to actually let go of this, it's a toxic addiction. Now I feel like almost throwing up. I feel sick to my stomach. And that's indication that this isn't healthy. You shouldn't be going through that kind of emotional roller coaster when you just want to shine your own light. When all you want is this. And be equal. That is something that you deserve. 100% through and through. Yeah. Okay. They're telling me that this is future movement. Okay. So we got the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, he's the slowest guy in the deck. He takes forever. But you want to know what? This goes back to the premeditated. The journey was long and it was slow. And it's like, sometimes flowers grow and they're like nothing. And then all of a sudden they're like, bloop. Like, no, that's not the story here. It's so slow. It's like, when is my season? When is things going to work? When can I, let go? But here's the thing. With the Knight of Pentacles, all his planning, all his everything, he will be successful. He has taken and checked off every box and everything. But this is going against what this said, to give it to the day. It's somebody who has been planning, who has done the work, who knows that it's time to let that go. And when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? It's that 6 months back or whenever your deadline was, and it's still coming now. Just don't lose faith or hope yet. I know it's so slow, but it's coming. The Knight of Pentacles is always reliable. He's just slow. And under that, right? And that's both situations. Your plan to save money, to move, to leave, or whatever this one is, it's slower than you want. But on this one, where they're like up here now, it was a slow process for you to actually change that mindset and to raise into that. Remember, this group is here. You will get here. You will. And then this group, oh, this group has already done it. This group actually can help this group. And this group reminds this group of where they came from. It's actually tied in together. So it's slow. It's not going as fast as you want. I was like, this is future movement. Fast, fast, fast. But that's not it. You don't want to rush into something without actually having a strong foundation. But my question, it said give it away. Don't deal with it. Most of us don't have hours and hours to meditate. Just surround everyone with white light. Ah, the white light. They're like, you didn't mention the white light. Yes, you need to plan. Yes, all these things are great. We encourage this. This is you reading a book and making a plan. Giving it, but there are times where you're still stuck with these negative people. And so they say, just bask them in love. I don't mean go out and shower them and love bomb them and those kind of things, but it's a inside job. And you look at them and you just imagine them, bring in angels, bring in the white light, just surround them in this column. There are two things will happen. They'll get really uncomfortable because that's not their vibe and they'll leave. Or they'll slowly start to process, But either way, by you putting them, it's almost like a protection of you too. Put yourself in, remember to put yourself in the white light. But then you can also do that to others. And those that don't like light, they go away. So it's just saying don't give hours and hours and hours. It's simple. White light, column, boom, there they are. Okay, so everything's going really slow. You're finally giving, you're planning, you're reading, you're making your plans, you're surrounding everyone in white light. That's when a celebration is. You will find your community. You will have your friends who fill up your cup and celebrate equally. It's not, whereas this one, they didn't see you as 50-50. Doesn't matter because everybody here is full. Full. Now there's room for so many people. And that's a celebration in itself. The last card here is the Knight of Wands. So things are going to start off really, really slow. But this knight is a knight, no less. You can call it your knight in shining armor, but nobody's going to come and save you from yourself except you, right? That's why you have to raise this poverty-conscious mindset. Some things you do need to let go of the past, those crabs that keep pulling you back. But you now have two stages, two consciousness, and you're the medium. You're the in-between. You're the one that can bridge the gap and make it equal. Because that's all that I care about. That's all that matters is equality. Everyone should be treated with respect. Because now the Knight of Wands comes in, right? It's really, really slow, but you will make it out. Slowly but surely. It's like this. Then slowly but surely, he's going to get there. And there'll be a celebration at the top. And when you meet this community, finally, where people see you for you, and you get to be yourself, that's when the Knight of Wands comes in. That's the quick movement. That's the, like, projects and plans and, if it was a relationship you left, there will be somebody that kind of like lights your soul on fire more, And they're saying go back to this card. What you worry about now will resolve itself if you're patient and let the path unfold. I changed it to path, not chart. But that was a cool message about the one lady who shared that. She's like, when I did my chart, I was meant to learn this lesson no matter what. In her birth chart, it said she was meant to get divorced. She could have married anybody, but she was supposed to get divorced at that time. Do I know about that kind of stuff? No, I don't know that stuff. But as the path unfolds, the path is flowing exactly how your soul needs to evolve. If you're already that self-made millionaire, billionaire, that self-made billionaire, or if you're halfway there and you're still got to free yourself from people who, and it's hard. Oh, they'll totally, they'll love bomb you and be like, remember these times? And like, they'll pull at your heartstrings and bring you back. And you're always like, yeah, because that's your loving nature. But I just want to send you so much love and hope for the future, for that person that I picked up on, because I felt your emotions, and it was a roller coaster, and they're real, they're valid, right? Things have happened to you that got you to there, but I just want you to know you're stronger than that. You're stronger than everything that they ever threw at you, and you'll get through this too. And yes, there might be little bumps on the way, but the lessons and the blessings that are to come will fill your soul up with so much love that you'll finally get the love that you truly deserve. And you deserve love, because just because you didn't have money, just because they thought you were okay to take advantage of, like, And so here we have Four of Cups. It was in reverse. Are we doing reverse or not? Let's see. There's a new opportunity coming for you, but you are feeling so bogged down and sad, and that lightning inside you, that this cup is coming, but you're missing it. These ones weren't quite it. There is more opportunities coming. You just have to be aware, be alert, and awake. Stay woke. No, yeah. It's coming. And you've done the hard work, and you've been planning, and maybe things aren't going as fast, but deep down, remember, you're worthy and deserving of this. 100%, no matter what. In fact, you're more deserving of everything, because I feel like you've just settled for so little that you deserve so much more. And it will come. Anything you want to touch on, Spirit? Nope. Everything's good. All's good, guys. No matter what situation you are, for the people who grew up poor, we're here to balance the scales. We're here to bridge the gap. We're here to free ourselves from those who think that it's okay to think less of when it comes to our social status and money, because what the real riches are is our heart. It's our creativity. It's our knowledge. It's our wisdom we gained by living out these events and still being grace. One of these said grace. I want to read that one, and then we'll leave. Yes. It was this one. You are the truth seeker, awakening, actualizing, transcending. How can you invite more grace to guide you? You saw things for how it was, and you transmuted energy that was so heavy and dark. And that's what I keep seeing, someone transmuting it and transmuting it and transmuting it. I thought we were done. No, transmuting it. But you don't have to. That's why you have to give it away, put them in the white light, let Spirit deal with you can't help them. I'm so sorry, but it's not you helping them. It's you thinking that if I keep changing the situation, I'll feel better. And you are on the right path. You just don't need to do as much as you have been. But damn, you did it all with grace. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. Like, you're a true class act in the face of diversity. You're not one that goes out there and asks, this ain't fair. Let me talk to your manager. You're not one of those Karens. I'm so sorry, Karen. Well, we'll leave it there. Have a good day. Bye, guys.